Hi, friends. So today we are talking to the star and choreographer of Monster High 2, Miia Harris, and Heather Laura Gray. I want to make sure I say it correctly. Um, it's always with the three names. I want to make sure I get it correct.
You
But
got it. You got it.
thank you very much for your time today. My first question is for you, Mia. Looking at the behind the scenes footage stuff, you say that you were a little bit more comfortable this time with like the dances because of the first movie. But my question to you is because of the first one and now working on the second one, what was easier for you to remember, the dialogue or all the dance moves that you had to do?
Interesting. I guess I don't know. I feel like for myself, like acting is such a it's just like in my blood always. And like memorizing dialogue is just that's kind of like a daily sort of thing. And dance is definitely a lot more out of my comfort zone. And so I think for myself, what was exciting was noticing the differences between the first movie and the second, and just noticing how much more comfortable and confident and excited that made me, to learn the choreography this second time around.
Nice, nice. And then speaking of choreography, Heather, you won an Emmy for the choreography for the first Monster High. So
Yeah.
did you feel that pressure to for the dances on this one to like I'm gonna get an Emmy again, or were you just like, you know what, we did well the first time, let's see how it goes this time?
Well, Victor, you know what's brilliant is that we shot the second one before I got this Emmy. So it's there was no pressure. I mean, the pressure was like an organic, like we want to level up. I want to level up, and it's choreographers' tools, their materials are humans. So you can only do what your humans are able to do in a short amount of time. So what we went through in the first one was so helpful in us, it's I know it's logical, but it really does. It's like, okay, character is more clear. I know what they can do physically. And so it was like that is all about now taking it to a place that we doesn't feel predictable, and so that was a lot of fun to pitch ideas to our amazing director Todd Holland, and for him to run with it. We ran with it, and adding things like flashlights and set design and things like that. But movement wise, even challenging like Mia. She had such a fierce scene of like attack that I added in some whacking, and she just ran with it. Like that's what I love about Mia. It's like she really transforms. She takes what it is. You see her in the moment, she's like, okay, all right, we're gonna do that. Right, yeah, I could see the like, okay, keep it together. And then she comes back to the next rehearsal, and then you just keep seeing it just evolve. And then when she's in it, she's in her character. It's just such a beautiful moment of embodiment, of voice, acting, physicality, the movement. Like it's so powerful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, like the song says, I have two left feet and motion sickness, so I wouldn't be able to compete with any of you on that. Uh, but one other question I wanted to ask for you too is that do you get the songs first and then start planning out the moves, and then like how does that whole process work for you?
Yeah, so thankfully, it's not always the case, but thankfully, Todd Holland and producer Adam Bennett, they brought me on to hear the music and be a part of, you know, making sure that maybe there's sections that need to be shorter or smaller or longer, and influencing a little bit of the structure of the song. So so that is super helpful because it really gets me into really, embedding the music and what is possible. So the more time I have, the better. But it's a really quick process. Like it was about a month, and then I go right into creating, or I mean, pitching everything to the director, and then I put together these pre-visuals, which are I work with skeleton crew dancers, which is like a small amount of dancers to show what it could look like, and then from there, it's like yes, no, we get little tweaks, and then we have 2 weeks of rehearsal. So that process is very, very short, and it is imperative, like what you just said, for me to have the music is everything because it becomes like almost symbiotic, and then I can really create from a space of knowing instead of like, oh God, I have no time. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you for that. Yeah, 'cause my kids take dance classes, so I'm always there, like, when the watching that whole process work. So it's to me, it's amazing to come up with these moves like spontaneously, or just come up with the moves in general. My other question for you, Mia, is obviously I'm not like the demographic for this movie, but like my kids are, and they sat down, and I sat down and I watched it with my son, and I was like, I really was into it because of the whole themes of belonging and acceptance. And then there's that line about, the only good witch is a dead witch. And I was like, whoa, this is like, this is like heavy stuff for kids, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But for like parents that like, might be like, oh, this is not, something that I want to watch with my kids. What would you say to them to convince them to, sit down and watch this with them? Because you might learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of Monster High is there's somebody in this movie for everybody, and that doesn't just include kids, it includes adults too. And I think also something so powerful is these themes are not just meant for children. I mean, inclusivity and finding your place in the world, I mean, that is a never ending journey. So I think that's something incredible. And also, I remember doing the first movie, Todd Holland, our director, because he has triplets who at the time were, I think, like 10 or something. And he had told me, he was like, kids watch movies over and over and over again. And as a parent, it is my goal to make a movie that other parents will not be mad when the kid wants to watch it for the 20th time. And I really think he accomplished that. And so yeah, I think people of all ages can really love this movie.
Yeah, no, I can attest to that because usually once the movie is done, it's like again, start it
Yeah,
all over again and
please
again and
God.
again. Yeah, I know you can't say much because it ends kind of like, I guess you say, on a cliffhanger. But
Mhm.
can we know like where we're at with the next one, or it's a bit early?
Yeah, well, yeah, so as of right now, it's looking like there will not be another one. And I speak on behalf of all the crew and the cast when I say we were so ready to do a third one, and we were very excited. But, this industry is very complicated and things do not always go to plan. And so right now it's a two-movie franchise, but the beauty of Monster High is that it existed before these movies, and Monster High as an entity and what it stands for is going to exist long after. And so it's not the end of the road for the love that we've been able to create, you know.
Nice. That's sad, but nice to hear that it's gonna live on forever. My final thing or question is, it's if I was there in person with you, Heather, I would ask you if you could teach me like a quick two-step or something to learn. But since I'm obviously here and you're on that end, is there like a simple like chair thing that I can do? Because as a father, sometimes when I go to a party, I just rather sit down and watch my kids do their thing, and I'll just sway left or right. So is there like a little thing that you could teach me that I could do while I'm sitting here?
Oh, I think we gotta do you don't know what you don't know. Like you don't know what you don't
Oh yeah.
know. So
Sure. Uh-huh.
roll it, and then slap it and slap it away. Yeah. There you
All right.
go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Friends, make sure you go pick up your copy of Monster High 2 at your local retailer. I'm a big fan of physical media because you never know if the internet is out or power goes out. At least you have that. Well, if the power goes out, you can't watch it. But I mean, as long as you're able to watch it some way, physical media is always the main thing to go. Mia, Heather, thank you very much for your time today. Again, friends, go check out the movie and you have a great day. Bye.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.